There's an animal loose on the streets of New York City. Breaking out of his cage at the crack of dawn this morning, Donald Trump headed straight into a construction site.
USA! 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 USA!
Donald Trump amid a sea of hard hats this morning. It wasn't even 6:30. The former president shaking hands, signing hats, and talking to the people who built the city of New York.
I think these maybe were Democrats, but to me they're a Republican. There's not a Democrat in there. These are people. Look at that building. Look what we can do. We built a lot of great buildings in the city with these people, and they've given me great support. They're really amazing. They're very, you know what? They're very, very talented people. They don't get the credit for it. They have very few people can do what they do. We used to do 3 floors a week in concrete. And it was guys like this that did it, so it's very amazing.
Trump's always loved a good construction site. For a real estate mogul like him, it's home. Judging by the "We Love Trump" chants, they love him too.
It was great to see the president come and engaging with the blue-collar worker of New York City. We basically built New York. I put out a poll in my union. President Trump is leading Joe Biden 3-1 on my presidential poll out of my 9,000 members. Right now, we are very tired of the situation with groceries, inflation, gas prices, illegal immigration, crime. We're living it every day in New York City.
These are lifelong Democrat unions wrapping their arms around Trump, a group Joe Biden won by 16 points last time. But Biden can't even put a hard hat on the right way. Remember? When he does talk to them, too, he talks down to them. Choose your fighter. This is exactly why Democrats need Trump trapped inside of his cage in court. Every time he escapes, whether it's a construction site or a bodega, as MSNBC said, it's a dangerous situation. He earns the hearts and minds of crowds, and Biden loses his base. Trump says he's making a play for New York.
Normally, a Democrat will win New York. Biden is the worst president in history, and we have some very bad people here, but we have the greatest people, and they're right behind me. And they all want us to run, and we're gonna run very hard in New York. New York, we have a good chance of winning New York, in my opinion, but we're going to give it a shot.
But after hanging out with a bunch of hard hats this morning, Animal Control caught the Donald and threw him back in his cage. The freezing cold courtroom in Manhattan. But that didn't break his spirit.
Today was breathtaking. This room, you saw what went on. It was breathtaking and amazing testimony. This is a trial that should have never happened. This is a case that should have never been filed. And it was really an incredible day. Open your eyes.
The former president hit 2 holes in one in court today, one in Manhattan, another in the Supreme Court. It was day 7 in the case of the crime that Democrats still haven't named. The man who ran the National Enquirer, Dave Pecker, back on the stand. This time, the Trump team got a chance to cross-examine him. Turns out, Democrats' star witness caught and killed for a lot of people. Pecker admitted to catching and killing a story about Tiger Woods. He said he paid hundreds of thousands to catch and kill for Arnold Schwarzenegger when he ran for California governor. Between 30 and 40 women. Oh, gosh, Arnold. That's not just Republicans he was killing stories for. Pecker testified that he caught and killed for Obama's former right-hand man, Rahm Emanuel. Turns out Rahm's brother, Ari Emanuel, reached out to Pecker, asking him to catch and kill his brother's affair. The tabloids are always catching and killing for Republicans and Democrats. Are we going to haul Rahm Emanuel and Arnold into court for something that happened years ago? Are we going to bring the CIA and the Biden campaign in for catching and killing the laptop? Pecker also testified that the whole catch and kill operation was spearheaded by him and Cohen, not Trump. He said, "We didn't want this story to embarrass Mr. Trump or embarrass or hurt the campaign." When asked who's we, he said, "Not Trump, it's Pecker and Cohen." So it was the star witnesses of the case that wanted to catch and kill to protect Trump, not Trump. Got it? All of this blows their whole case up. Right now, the only case they're trying to make is that Trump should be held in contempt for talking. The Biden donating judge held off from issuing a ruling on that today, but while Alvin Bragg's team was attacking free speech in New York, Jack Smith's team was trying to undo 234 years of presidential precedent in the Supreme Court, arguing that presidents should be held criminally liable for actions they take in office. The judges, though, not convinced.
There's the old saw about indicting a ham sandwich.
Yes, but I think Justice
you had a lot of experience in the Justice Department. You come across a lot of cases where the U.S. attorney or another federal prosecutor really wanted to indict a case and the grand jury refused to do so.
There are such cases. Yes, but I think that the other
every once in a while there's an eclipse too.
Justice Kavanaugh asked, well, why wouldn't this create a vicious cycle of partisan presidential prosecutions and pardons?
Concern going forward is that the system will, when former presidents are subject to prosecution, and the history of Morrison versus Olson tells us it's not going to stop. It's going to cycle back and be used against the current president or the next president and the next president and the next president after that.
A president not having immunity just opens up a Pandora's box. If Trump gets charged, does that mean Bill Clinton gets charged for bombing aspirin factories in Africa? Does Obama get charged for drone striking a U.S. citizen? Can Biden be charged for human trafficking along the border, cocaine possession, or for his windmills murdering whales? I mean, they're endangered species. That's 1 year per whale. You take away a president's immunity and his free speech, and there's no coming back. These are all legal Hail Marys to keep Trump chained inside of a cage, away from the campaign trail and away from you, the voter. But good luck keeping him in his cage.
We're going to the South Bronx to do a rally. We're going to be doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, we believe. We think we're signing Madison Square Garden to do it. We're going to have a big rally honoring the police and honoring the firemen and everybody, honoring a lot of people, including teachers. We'll be honoring the people that make New York work, and we'll be doing a number of large rallies. It'll be very exciting.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.